Okay, so the purpose of this video is to show you guys what to look for when buying a school bus. I got asked this a lot when I bought my bus. So I just want to give some pointers and tips because I did about 3-4 months of research on what to look for when buying a bus before finding the perfect one for me. So I just want to share and pass along the information in this YouTube video. Okay, so first thing is, what do you want this bus to be? Are you traveling? Are you having a small business outside of your bus? Is this like a one-time thing? How many people are going to be traveling with you? Like all these questions. So you got to analyze what you want this bus to be for. Me, I use it for travel. So I did a big American road trip, and for me and my brother and my cousin, the three of us, we found a bus that was a shorter bus. It was good for us because it was cheap. First of all, that's why you're probably watching this video, because school buses are cheap to buy and renovate. So it was cheap. It made a lot of sense for us because along with being cheap, it was easy to remodel and you can make it your home and things like of that nature. So I can talk about what to look for when making a travel bus. So basically, the first thing you want to do is find out where you're going to buy the bus from. So there's eBay, which is an online source where you can buy them from all around the country. You can go to Craigslist, which I recommend because you can actually go to the person's house and test drive the bus. Another thing that you can do is go to auction houses. There's places where they hold buses, hundreds of buses, and they sell them during auctions. So you can go there. They also have websites that list all their inventory, so I highly recommend that if you're within distance. I traveled up to 5 hours away, so to kind of give you a consideration of how serious I was about buying this school bus, you always want to test drive it, because if you can't test drive it, then you don't know what it sounds like, you don't really know how it runs, and you could run into a lot of issues. So when going on a test drive, make sure you go on the highway if you're going to be going on the highway, because sometimes school districts put governors on the school buses, and what that means is they limit how fast they can actually go. So some school buses that I test drove went only up to 45 miles an hour. I'm a traveler. I'm going on highways a lot. I need to be able to go fast. So don't be afraid to test drive that and look for that. If it is limited, if it has a governor limiter on it, see if the guy can take it off. If it's from a school district, see if they can take it off. If it's from a private seller, see if he knows how to do that. I know some mechanics or shops can actually do that for you, but that costs money as well. Once you've picked out a few buses that you're really interested in, everything looks good, do a vehicle report check on it. See what school district it was in. Make sure all the maintenance was done on it. Was there any accidents? Did anything get destroyed? Anything like that? See the history of the bus. If that looks good, then that's a good indicator that it's going to be a good bus. So, getting into what you want to look for when buying a bus. First consideration, I would say, is you want to see how big you want the bus to be. Obviously, for the inside, larger the better, right? You have more room, more stuff, more leisure, more people can be in it. But you have to consider that it's harder to drive. It's going to be harder to park in cities. Actually, it's going to be harder to park anywhere you go. And on top of being harder to park, it's going to be harder to navigate down narrow roads, down in cities, and things like that. So put that into consideration. We want to get a mid-size bus. We went with a short bus. This is a 5-window bus. It's for handicapped kids. It had a lift in the back. We took that out, remodeled it. Next thing to consider is the year. So in 2004, the U.S. government did something with the regulations for school buses. They had to be a lot more efficient. That just had to be a lot more efficient. So what happened, a lot of dealers, or a lot of makers of buses, had a hard time adapting to it the first year in 2004, and all the engines kind of went to crap starting out when they switched over from 2003. So this is a 2003 bus, and this was the last year before anything really bad happened. 2004, they all kind of went bad. Over the years, 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, they got better. So this is recording in 2016, so my bus was 13 years old. I got a diesel. I recommend diesels because although they could be hard to start in the wintertime, they run a lot longer. They have a lot longer lifespan. If you buy a school bus that's gas, I don't even know if they really make those. If you get a bus or a shuttle bus, something pretty similar to a school bus that's gas powered, if you have a 150,000 miles, it's gonna start running into some issues. With the diesel, they can go up to like upwards of double that, 300,000, 400. I've seen some people at 800,000, believe it or not. So they run a lot longer lifespan. When looking for a bus, you want to, on top of looking at the size that you want to look at the two mechanical parts that are really important are the engine and transmission. So make sure you do your research on those two pieces. I already mentioned that diesel, I recommend those over gas. As far as school buses, some other things to look at from a standpoint of keeping maintenance on it is rust. A big thing is rust on buses. So what you want to do is you want to inspect the vehicle for any rust. Obviously the underside of the bus is going to have a lot of rust, so do your research, take pictures of it if you get a chance to go there. If not, ask the person selling the bus to take pictures of the underside, because what happens is with salt during the winter times, if you live in the north, they put salt on the roads, so you have to check out how much damage the salt did to the underside of the bus. Some districts, I know we got our bus from Oregon, it was in an Oregon school district, they use sand instead. So there's our bus, the underside of our bus has a very little rust. It still has rust, it's not in perfect conditions, it's a 13-year-old bus, but it's a lot better than, let's say, some 6-year-old vehicles in Michigan. That's where we're from. So that's something to consider. When looking at a bus, look at the tires, see if they're balding, because if you are on a budget and the tires are bald and you are going to have to get them replaced, then the tires can cost you over $1,000. So if you're looking at a bus that is pretty similar, one is $3,000, one is $3,500, but the one that's $3,000 has bald tires, then you're actually going to end up spending more money on the one that you paid for $3,000, because you have to get a whole new set of tires, which obviously can cost a lot of money. So something else to consider on top of the rust, you want to look at the rust on the windows and doors too. Around all the doors, look for rust. Rust is gonna kill your vehicle, so you want to take care of it. You want to find something that has very little rust. Some buses have so much rust on them that I think they're a waste to invest money into. So something else to consider when buying a school bus is whether it's going to be an automatic or manual. If you know how to drive manual, I still got an automatic because I really don't want to deal with the hassle of going up and down hills and on highways and in cities, driving a bus, which is already a headache, and you have to be fully paying attention to what's around you because you're in such a big vehicle. You don't also want to be paying attention to switching gear, slowing down, downshifting, things like that. So that's something to look for when buying a bus. Make sure you check it out. Best thing to do is to go for a test drive. Like I said, go really fast on it. Make sure you go up to the speeds that you're going to be going at. Make sure it's not limited. You want to check out all the electronics, so I'll show you really quickly, guys. You want to make sure everything's working here. Your lights, your fan, heating, and air conditioning is something important to consider. One thing that I recommend if you guys need electricity on top of like the car outlet, the car charger, you know, for the cigarette smoking, where you can charge your phones, is solar panels. So solar panels, we paid I think $150 for solar panels and 2 car batteries that we got from friends, and we were able to charge 3 cameras, 3 portable chargers, and 3 phones plus a laptop consistently without any trouble because of the solar panels. So that helped out a lot too. Something else to consider when looking at a bus, you want to, if you're on the road and stuff like that, you're going to be traveling or doing whatever, you want to lock it up, put an alarm on it. They cost $100 to $300. I think it's very worth it. People won't come up to you. If they do, the alarm will sound and you'll know about it. A safe is also a very good option for any valuables that you have inside the bus, so anyone that tries to steal something, they can't. Yeah, that's about it. That's all I can think of right now. So tell me what you guys think. This is kind of my knowledge from the months of research I did before buying a bus. We went on a 15,000 mile road trip, and we haven't had to have any work done. We never had to pull into a shop and pay for anything to get done. Obviously we have to do maintenance, like change the fuel filter, oil filter, things like that, but we haven't had to really do any repair on it, which was, I think, pretty cool. So I think we made the right choice when we bought it. It took 3 months of looking for buses, but if you buy the right bus, it'll be totally worth it. Don't just go out and find a couple buses and out of these 3 you're just going to choose this one just because. Really do your research. I know why you guys are watching this video is because you don't have a lot of money. You need to pay attention. If you don't have money, you have to pay attention, and you have time to do your research too. So yeah, take care, guys.